Today marks a year since the killing of whistleblower Babita Deokaran. A memorial service will be held in her honor. She was gunned down outside her home in the south of Johannesburg after blowing the whistle on PPE-related corruption in Gauteng's health department. Heidi Giokos has more on the story and joins us now. Good morning, Heidi. You know, it's almost unbelievable that a year has gone by. On the 23rd, around 8 o'clock, an innocent woman was killed just after dropping off her daughter at school. What is the family saying today, particularly, or given that there's no progress insofar as the case is concerned, it hasn't been concluded as yet, it's still in our courts?
Yes, certainly. It's around 8:30 to be exact, a year ago, where Babita Deokaran was gunned down as she was entering her home, Mfundo. And as you mentioned, the family still completely distraught. Earlier on, we heard family members speaking about how they still feel exactly the same way they felt a year ago when Babita Deokaran was gunned down. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that not much has been done. As much as certain individuals have been arrested that are alleged to have been the hitman, the family wants the kingpin to be arrested and the mastermind behind this. But we are joined by the family spokesperson together with family members of Babita Deokaran, Tony Harry Prasad. Thank you so much for your time. We do appreciate it. I know this is very difficult, but we thank you for speaking to us. It's a year on. It's very difficult for the family, and I'm sure even more difficult given the fact that not much has been done in terms of investigations and getting to the bottom of what really happened to Babita Deokaran.
Good morning, Heidi, and to the viewers. Yes, today marks exactly the 1-year anniversary of this fateful day that our family experienced, and you know, we still hurt like the day it happened, and we remember everything so clearly. What happened on that day, and you know, the family are really hurting and feeling that we are in the most difficult times of our life. And today we want to just say that we're spending the day here to remember her and celebrate the memory and the legacy that she leaves behind for this courageous deed that she did, just standing up for truth, you know, and ultimately paying the price with her own life.
So investigations also done by News 24 show that she actually did mention that she was a bit fearful and she feared for her life given what she had been lifting the lid on in terms of corruption within Gauteng Health. Are you as a family disappointed in perhaps Gauteng government, but also in the National Prosecuting Authority as to how slow this case is moving forward and how nothing really has happened a year on?
Absolutely, absolutely, Heidi. You know, what hurts us more is to be now given the fact that, you know, through her laptop and her cell phones and things like that, that she reported this entire situation to senior officials in her department, and she was given the assurance that the matter was escalated. And, you know, it hurts us to think that Babita died thinking that she was getting some sort of security and assistance from those that are higher up. And, you know, unfortunately, it now surfaces that that was a lie and something that didn't materialize. And, you know, that hurts us. And we as a family think that, you know, if she was in such a sensitive position with so much of information and a key witness in the Special Investigation Unit, something should have been done to protect her life. Someone should have taken responsibility to know that a person of this caliber with this amount of information, surely her life is in danger and something needs to be done to protect her. Unfortunately, it didn't happen.
I want us to speak about the woman that Babita Deokaran was. Many find it difficult to be a whistleblower in this country because of what happens. And she has been very brave and courageous, and you know, many would say that whistleblowers aren't protected in this country.
Yes.
As a family, I'm sure you remember her as being that very brave and courageous woman. In very difficult circumstances, she still opted to stand in a room and say, there's corruption going on, there's something rotten here.
Well, you know, we as a family today, you can see her siblings are here, but we remember her from a very young age as a very brave, courageous, outspoken sister that was with us. She grew up like that. And, that was her character and her personality, where she stood for integrity and justice. And, we're proud of the fact that she refused to bend down to corruption and give in to corruption. She refused. And you know what? She stood for her integrity, and it is sad that she had to pay with her life. Pay the price, the ultimate price. Yes, you know what? We have here an award that has come from the Blueprint for Free Speech Award. This award comes from Greece. It's an international award that was posthumously awarded to Babita last year. In December, our family received this award. And, we're proud to say that she received an international award, although she may not have received many accolades or awards locally within our country. But this is an award today that her daughter will cherish, to know that her mother received an international award because her mother stood for integrity, and she leaves a legacy behind that we must do that which is right and justice.
Thank you so much. I really do appreciate it. And we thank you for speaking to us. I know it's very difficult, but that was the family spokesperson, Tony Harry Prasad. And I think, Mfundo, just hearing what the family has to say about how difficult this is, how little has been done to protect whistleblowers, to protect those that opt to speak and lift the lid on corruption. What's even more heartbreaking, and I think damning on Gauteng government, but also Gauteng Health, is that when Babita Deokaran spoke up against corruption in Gauteng Health, it was almost at the height of the COVID-19 pandemic, where people were so desperate to either get vaccines, to get onto a ventilator, to get oxygen. And if you just look at the kind of work that she was doing and the kind of investigations that were underway in Gauteng Health, you would expect there to be further investigations and to get to the bottom of what truly happened. But perhaps I can leave you with a parting shot, and I can ask my colleague Mohammed to just show you to my right. This is the part where she had driven in. She had dropped her daughter off at school. It was around 8:30 in the morning, and she had pulled up waiting for the gate to open. And at this very point, it seems as though a vehicle, am I right, Tony, a vehicle had, maybe just explain to us.
Well, I think while she was waiting for her driveway gate to open, another vehicle just drove up adjacent to her. They opened the door and opened fire on her. She had no chance to even hide herself or defend herself. She just sat at this car, the steering, and we are given to understand that they shot her 12 times. 12 times. And you know what? She was helpless. And she succumbed to the injuries that she suffered.
Yeah, okay, so Mfundo, as you can hear, it's this very spot, and it must be very difficult for the family to have to, relive this on a constant basis. But perhaps if there's pressure on government, perhaps if there's pressure on officials, the presidency about 2-3 days ago seems as though they came out to say they are shocked at the lack of progress in this case. But it's one thing to be shocked, and it's one thing to actually act and make sure that something is actually being done about this. But there will be a memorial service at around 6 o'clock this evening. We do know that the SIU will be there, a number of other officials. So perhaps we can pose these questions to them about what is actually being done and why investigations are taking so long.
Well, certainly they'll be very important questions to pose, and hopefully there will be some sort of answer as to when do they arrest the kingpins, because those are just the hitmen. Somebody was behind this. We honestly owe a great deal to the Deokaran family and Babita, because she was protecting our purse. It was the taxpayers' money that she decided to protect. Heidi, thank you very much for that update. That's reporter Heidi Giokos there. Now, still to come on